Hi learners! Welcome back again to Matics. And nandito na naman tayo again to deepen your understanding and foundation in the subject mathematics. Okay? So what you are seeing class is a two-part video lesson. And on this video, we will be specifically talking about piecewise functions. Okay? So what are piecewise functions and how do we evaluate them? By definition, a piecewise function is a function that is defined by different formulas or functions for each given interval. So, isa-isahin natin yung definition class. Okay? So, let's say we have this example. Let's say we have f of x, which is defined by x squared plus 3x minus 2 if x is less than 0, then x cubed if x is greater than or equal to 0 but is less than 8, and 20 if x is greater than or equal positive 8. Okay? So, a piecewise functions class, as defined here, are different formulas. So, where are our different formulas? Ito po yun. So, we have 1, 2, 3. We have three different formulas or functions for each given interval. And where are our intervals? So we have here interval 1, interval 2, and interval 3. Okay? So ganito ang itsura ng isang piecewise function. Okay? And on a piecewise function, the next question would be, how do we evaluate them? Okay. So let's say we are asked to find f of positive 5, f at negative 2, f at negative 10, f of 0, and f of positive 12. Okay. So using this piecewise function, we are trying to evaluate or we are to evaluate these given values. Okay, so paano iyon? So now, again, we have f of x is equals to x squared plus 3x minus 2, x cubed, and 20 for the following intervals. Yeah. And we are asked to find first for f at negative 5. So f of negative 5, this one, f at 5. So question class, positive 5. Among these intervals, x is less than 0, x is in between 0 and positive 8, and x is greater than 8, saan nagfo-fall si positive 5? So positive 5 is in between 0 and positive 8. So nandito siya sa ating interval 2. Okay? Nandito siya. Therefore, in order to evaluate the function f of 5 or f at 5, we have to use the second function or the second sub-function x cubed. Okay, so we have x cubed. Then this time, evaluating, ang sabi natin, if we are to evaluate functions, we substitute the value of our variable. So this will be 5 cubed. Pinalitan lang natin si x ng 5. And this is equal to 125. So f at 5 or f of 5 is equal to 125. Okay? So what about f at negative 2? Let's say we have f at negative 2. So among these intervals, where does negative 2 fall? So is it less than 0, in between 0 and positive 8, or is it greater than positive 8? So negative 2 falls here. It is less than 0. Okay, so what we will be using to evaluate f at negative 2 is this subfunction. So that is f at negative 2 is equals to x squared plus 3x minus 2. Then we can now evaluate. Substitute negative 2 to all our x values. So negative 2 squared plus 3 times negative 2 minus 2. So what is negative 2 squared? This is positive 4 plus 3 times negative 2. So positive 3 times negative 2, positive times negative is negative. So this should be negative 6. Okay? Then minus 2. So 4 minus 6 minus 2. So 4 minus 6 is negative 2 minus 2. This will give us a final answer of negative 4. Okay? So f at negative 2 is equals to negative 4. Another. What if we have f at negative 10? So among these intervals, saan nagpo-fall si negative 10? Is it less than 0, in between 0 and positive 8, or greater than positive 8? So again, f at negative 10 is less than 0. So we will be utilizing this subfunction again. So x squared plus 3x minus 2. Okay? So we have f at negative 10. That is equals to x squared plus 3x minus 2. Then evaluating, we have to substitute negative 10 squared plus 3 times negative 10 minus 2. Okay? So what is negative 10 squared? That is positive 100. Positive 3 times negative 10. This is negative 30. Then minus 2. So 100 minus 30. This is positive 70 minus 2. The final answer will be positive 68. Okay? So ganun lang. Madali lang yung madali lang ang pag-evaluate ng ating piecewise functions. Okay? The very challenge here, class, is for you to evaluate or for you to determine in which interval nagfo-fall yung hinahanap ninyong value. So doon lang kayo magkakaroon ng extra challenge dito. Okay? So for our next, bubukayin muna natin si F at 5 dito. So sige, given this, answer f at 0. So what will be the value of our f at 0? Sige nga, kindly pause this video, then find on your own what will be the value of our f at 0. Okay, f at 0. What is the value of our f at 0? Wait lang, ayusin pala natin ito. Palitan natin ito ng ibang kulay para mas makita. So f at 0. So where does 0 fall here? Is it less than 0? Is it in between, or is 0 greater than or equal 0 and but less than 8, or is it greater than positive 8? So what interval will we be using here? To answer, we use the second interval. Since nandito si 0. So take note, x is greater than or equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, we will be using the second interval, x cubed. So f at 0, we have x cubed. Substitute 0. So 0 times 0 times 0. So this is just 0. Okay? Last, what if we have f of positive 12? So sige, go and pause again this video and find the interval. Which among these intervals yung gagamitin natin to find or evaluate f at positive 12? So positive 12 is or falls here on our third interval, which is x is greater than or equal to positive 8. So 12 is greater than 8, so therefore we will be using the third subfunction. And ang sabi dito sa third natin, if x is greater than or equal to 8, what we will be using is 20. So f at 12 is automatically 20. This is now your final answer. Wala na tayong mathematics in 12. Okay? So, ganun lang, class. This is how we perform or how we evaluate piecewise functions. So additional examples, you can try this. Okay, next. What if we have f of h is equals to h squared minus 5h if h is less than or equal to negative 10 Then we also have h minus 1 times h plus 3. If h is greater than negative 10 but less than negative 2. And finally, we have h cubed over h plus 9 if we have h greater than or equal to negative 10. So we are asked to find for f of negative 3, f of negative 12, f of negative 2, f of 0, f of negative 5, and f of 4. So sige, you can pause this video and try this on your own. And now, let's try to find the answer naman. Okay, so let's check if tama ba yung mga nakuha ninyong sagot. Okay, so first we have f of negative 3. So negative 3 false. Anong condition siya or anong interval siya? Negative 3 false. So it is in between negative 10 and negative 2. So we will be using h minus 1 times h plus 3. Okay, so we have h minus 1, then h plus 3. So substitute our values, negative 3 minus 1, then negative 3 plus 3. So what is negative 3 minus 1? This is negative 4. Then negative 3 plus 3, this is 0. So negative 4 times 0, this is 0. Any number multiplied to 0 will give us 0. So f at negative 3, the value of our function is 0. Okay? Next, what about f at negative 12? So we have f at negative 12. So what interval siya nagpo-fall dito sa ating tatlong intervals? So negative 12 is less than negative 10. So we will be using, or what we will be using is this first subfunction. So this is h squared minus 5h. Evaluate. Let's now substitute our given. So negative 12 squared minus 5 times negative 12. Okay? So negative 12 squared, this is 144. Then negative 5 times negative 12, negative times negative will give us a positive. 12 times 5 is 60. 144 plus 60, our final answer will be 204. Okay? Next one, f at negative 2. So what is f at negative 2? What interval o anong interval yung gagamitin natin? Okay. So it falls, negative 2 falls on our third condition or our third interval. So what is that? Ito. So our third interval says if h is greater than or equal to negative 2. Since we have negative 2, equal siya sa condition na ito, we will be using the third subfunction. So this is h cubed over h plus 9. Substitute our values, we will be having negative 2 cubed all over negative 2 plus 9. So simplify, what is negative 2 cubed? This is equals to negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4 times negative 2 will give us negative 8. Okay? Then yung denominator natin, negative 2 plus 9, we will be having a negative 8 over 7 as our final answer. So this is now your final answer. Okay? So next, let's find naman yung f at 0. Okay, class. Let's now find the value of f at 0. So where does 0 fall dito sa ating equation or sa ating mga intervals? Is it under our first interval, second interval, or our third interval? So 0 is greater than negative 2. So it will fall under our third interval. So we will be using h cubed over h plus 9. Okay? So some of you might be asking, sir, bakit po naging mas mataas or bakit naging greater than si 0 kay negative 2? Okay? So let's say we have here our partition plane. So you have here your 0. This is 1. This is 2. Negative 1. Negative 2. Negative 3. Negative 4. Negative 5. So this is negative 2. Negative 2 is here. And 0, nasaan si 0? Nandito siya. So to the right, nasa to the right siya ng negative 2, meaning it is greater than negative 2. So what we will be using is the third interval or the third subfunction, h cubed over h plus 9. Okay? So substitute 0 cubed over 0 plus 9. So simplify, 0 cubed is 0 times 0 times 0, 0 pa din. 0 plus 9 is simply 9. And what is 0 plus 9? This is equals to 0. Okay? The value of our function f at 0 is still 0. Okay? Next, what about f at negative 5? Okay. So, saan si negative 5? Anong interval dito? First, second, or third interval? So, to answer, f of negative 5 is in between negative 10 and negative 2. So, we will be using the second subfunction, h minus 1 multiplied by h plus 3. Okay? And substitute for us to evaluate negative 5 minus 1 multiplied by negative 5 plus 2. Okay? So what is negative 5 minus 1? This is negative 6 multiplied by negative 5 plus 3. This is negative 2. And our final answer is negative 6 times negative 2, negative times negative. That should give us positive 12. Okay, so this is now your final answer. Okay, last one. What if we have f at positive 4? So we have f at positive 4. So what condition or what interval does f at positive 4 falls dito sa ating tatlo? So it is here on our third interval. Okay? F at positive 4. So isin lang natin si positive 4. So f at positive 4. So positive 4 is greater than negative 2. So we will be using the third interval. Okay, so that is h cubed over h plus 9. And to evaluate, we have to substitute. So 4 cubed over 4 plus 9. And what is 4 cubed over 4 plus 9 equal to? So 4 cubed, this is equals to 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, multiplied by 4 is 64, over 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay? So 64 over 13 is already in its lowest term. Hindi nyo na pwedeng i-lowest term siya. So therefore, our final answer is 64 over 13. Okay? So, di ba? As always, madali lang naman siya. So, bakit pa natin kailangan pahirapan kung kaya naman gawin sa madaling paraan? Okay? Tama? Okay. So, and if this video helps you, please don't forget to give a like and click the subscribe button for you to learn and develop more your love for the subject mathematics. And as always, learn math, solve math, love mathematics.